Hi, everybody. Okay, I have fixed the audio with this little microphone, and I thought even if the image can be a little crumbly sometimes because of the road not being super smooth, I'm gonna be doing a loud car share where you can hear me. That's great. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to actually come on here for. Yesterday, I did make a video, but the sound wasn't great, so I thought I'll just do it again plus something else I thought about this morning. So, the first thing is, I really wanted to talk about grieving through the holidays. I know we associate grieving with the loss of someone, but grief can come into many forms. It can also be changes in our life. And Christmas, I have found myself, is a time where actually those changes, if you're going through them, can feel quite heightened because of what's happening around us. People get together in family, you see units coming together, people celebrating, and it can be feeling quite intense during this time of the year. There are memories as well that are associated with this time of the year, right? Like depending, and there can be good or bad memories, by the way. But personally, myself, I always had a very melancholic and sad feeling around this time of the year. Maybe because it's winter, and in South Africa, the time of the year is summer, so it just is much better to navigate than a cold winter. But equally, Christmas is always like that image of snow and cold and coziness and fireplace and cinnamon teas and lattes. And so it just doesn't, you need certain things to make it more Christmassy. Um, but yeah, I always had a very conflicting feeling about Christmas, probably because of childhood. And since my grandmother passed away, and we also didn't spend so much time close to her as adults, nobody's bringing the family together for Christmas. So it feels very unglued in comparison to my childhood when she was really bringing it together. And it felt at some level very cheerful. Like I remember watching Christmas movies on the 24th, and then the 25th everyone would come together. The 24th evening was a big dinner, so there was a lot of rituals that go with that. Now, of course, I don't celebrate Christmas in the same way that is religiously celebrated, because, well, first of all, December is not Yeshua HaMashiach's birthday, so it's not Jesus' birthday. So that lie just doesn't fly. I celebrate more like the winter solstice and nature and that change and shift in energy rather than the religious aspect of it. There are, of course, many rituals that are associated with some traditions that perhaps are not really on the good side. But as I'm learning in Kabbalah, everything is from the creator and it's a test, and everything is to challenge us to think outside our norm and to be elevating ourselves, right? So there's absolutely no judgment. What I do like about this time of the year is, even though we are grieving, we can build new memories. So first thing is, obviously with grief there is one thing to understand, and that is that grieving is also a ritual. It's a ceremony of appreciating, learning, valuing what happened and was, releasing it, and then rebuilding from whatever is left from the departure of what was. So whether it's a person, a circumstance, or whatever, right? So this year, I am building new memories with friends. I have met a lot of expats who are in the same kind of boat as me. We don't have a family unit celebrating coming together, which, although I'm not a big family person, I do sometimes miss that kind of warmth. And we are getting together and becoming each other's family, which I really value, because at some point, you know what it is? It's building these beautiful memories. Like last year, to be honest, I had a very good Christmas. I spent it with my friend Elena and her family, and it was really delightful. It was fun. And at the time, I was actually spending a lot of time at Elena's because it was like the beginning of everything that was going through my life, and she was a massive support system. So I spent a lot of time with her, and she welcomed me through the holidays at her home. So that actually was so uplifting, because we don't celebrate in my house. Kyle and I don't celebrate Christmas, as I said. and he is very much adverse to it fully. I am much more soft in it because of the approach that I take with everything, which is non-judgment. At the same time, intentions are much more important than, having dinner on Christmas Eve and lunch on Christmas Day, whether you believe in something or not. So this year I've decided to build these memories, and I am not gonna do the tree. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff, but I'm definitely enjoying the coming together with people, and truly finding ourselves to be in an environment where we can support each other and make memories and make them good ones and have fun. And we're doing the same thing with Christmas, with the New Year's Eve. Actually, I'm not a big New Year's Eve celebrating person, but I wouldn't actually mind being around people that I really enjoy being with, and then celebrating and creating new memories. I hate going to parties and overpaying for dinners and stuff that are like not even good quality, and I don't want a crowd. But in a set environment with cozy people that you really feel at home with, that's a beautiful thing. And actually we get that with our co-working space in Porto. It's a beautiful gift. So, and it's probably nice because we all more or less the same age and we all want the same thing. We don't want to have these crazy parties where we have to be out in town and overpay, as I say, or being in crowds or whatever. It's like a meat market as well. So no, thank you. But yeah, it's very much those things. So if you are grieving through the holidays, allow yourself to actually do that. Grieve the circumstances, the person. And sometimes it's not even just a change, it's the fact that we may have lost someone, and that is the deepest grief, because depending on circumstances, losing someone, especially someone that you love, like a partner, during the holidays feels even more intense and deep. But even then, there are ways to cope with it. And I think the first thing is that mindfulness of celebration. So celebrating what was, whether it was good or bad, honestly, like just celebrating the lessons learned and releasing, and then being able to be here and creating those new memories with appreciation and gratitude. Because, at the end of the day, the truth is we are here right now, and being in the moment is the biggest act of self-love we can have, but also act of respect for others that we can have, because we don't know how long we're going to be here for. That's just the truth. I am talking to you now, I'm focusing on the road, but there might be like something that might happen, right? And I might not be here in a few seconds. So I'm so acutely aware of the fact that it's really just a moment in time, that I am not paying any attention to the things that bring me heaviness and sadness as much. And I'm not saying that I don't get sad or I feel heavy. There are moments that I feel more fragile, and that really does happen. But what I'm learning through Kabbalah is really to bring myself back, like pause, what a pleasure, and then rebuild. So that is something. Now, the other thing that I thought about this morning that I think would be really amazing is this. I have shared before about the holidays coming, people going haywire when it comes to diet. And I am not a fan of New Year's resolutions, especially those short ones that basically don't go anywhere. But I do want to have something that comes to you. In the last inner circle, I did I covered the different dietary patterns, and I covered how every diet can have benefits. Some are more substantiated and supported by science. Some are long term, others are short term, and I wanted to really describe why that was. And I love to do a masterclass on January 2nd to discuss ways that you can implement healthier lifestyle choices in your routine every day, starting from post holidays. And there are some ways needs for it, and ways I want to do this, and why I want to do a free masterclass is because there are a lot of people that go on these crash diets for a month, right? Like January becomes this remove everything, don't do anything, restrict, and then we'll think about it in February. And then February comes, and if you haven't done it in a way that you're building new habits, forget about it. You're not going to stick to it. It's just the truth. So I'm really mindful that I want to allow you to have tools for the whole year, not just for for January. But January could be a good set point if you haven't started now, because now probably you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to bother. I have all these Christmas lunches and dinners come up. The last thing I want to do is be like, oh, sorry, I don't drink alcohol. I get it. It's fine. It is the time of the year. But from January, you can start building these habits. So I want to do a masterclass talking about the dietary choices that you can make to help your body feel better, to gain strength, to let go of sugar cravings, to nourish the cells in your body more and more and more with literally daily choices that are very easy to implement. And you can decide what you implement or not. Nothing is absolute. So if you want to join this free masterclass, just go into my website and sign up for my newsletter. And then you will receive all the information at the end of this week with the masterclass login. If you know people that are also struggling, share with them so they can come on too. If you don't want to sign up for the newsletter because of whatever trouble you have with technology, I know the feeling. Just DM me on Instagram and I will add you on, and then I'll make sure that you get all the details. So it's going to be a free masterclass on January 2nd. It's going to be an evening class, so that even my US followers can come on, because I have some that are in on Pacific time and others that are in Eastern time and anything in between. So it will allow us to have them on if they want to join. And then we can have a very nice group and really just create a little bit of movement, right, around the stagnation that is also the time of the year. And I like to honor the fact that, yes, in winter, there is a bit of stagnation, there is a little bit of pause. That is because the new year, actually, in the real calendars that have been traditionally used from the times of Enoch, basically, say that they follow the moon, and the new year is in spring. So, and that makes so much sense because we go into this dormant state through the winter, and then in spring we are awakening. So even things like Ayurveda will honor these kind of approaches. So I really want to go with that because it is much more attuned to our circadian rhythm, our body needs and flows, and if we learn these things and we learn how to deal with those, not just our internal pathways, which are beautiful hormones, and I talk about it until the cows come home, but actually even the nature around us and the seasons, we can really align and find well-being and health and wellness, and holistically, mind, body, and spirit. So guys, if you want to join the masterclass, it's free. Join on January 2nd. Send me a DM, go on my website, sign up for the newsletter, and I will keep you posted. Have a great day. Bye.